Good morning. Welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Friday, TGIF. Finally Friday, the first week after the holiday, first work week of 5 days in a row in about 2-3 weeks. Hope you are having a good day. It is January the 10th, and we're here to look at the rest of the new releases that were published this week. Some are leftovers from earlier this week. Some are some interesting things I have found that don't necessarily fit in the other categories. Quick announcements. I don't have any sprints tonight. I don't do them on Friday night. We will have them tomorrow afternoon, though, at 3 p.m. Eastern. They go for 5 hours tomorrow. Bring your own book, work on a project, a hobby, just relax, be productive while listening, whatever it is you want to do. It is time that is self-care carved out for you. Mary says, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. TGIF got my heating bill today. No more bead buying for quite some time to come. Not fun. And I said, oh, honey. Book 2, it was delayed, but there's a tracking that I get notification of. I think it's going to get there today, but it's the first of many. I truly am destashing, as you say. Good afternoon, Helen. How's it going over there? I am destashing. You have no idea. You have no idea. But I appreciate being able to give it to somebody who will use them. And Mary says hi to Helen. All right, let's look at some books. So this first one, as you see, the author is Zora Neale Hurston. Yes, this is published this week. This is a never before published novel by this author. She penned a historical novel about one of the most infamous figures in the Bible, Herod the Great. In Hurston's retelling, Herod is not the wicked ruler of the New Testament who is charged with the slaughter of the innocents, but a forerunner of Christ, a beloved king who enriched Jewish culture and brought prosperity and peace to Judea. From the peaks of triumph to the depths of human misery, the historical Herod appears to have been singled out and especially endowed to attract the lightning of fate, Hurston writes. An intimate of both Mark Antony and Julius Caesar, the Judean king lived during the 1st century BCE in a time of war and imperial expansion that was rife with political assassinations and bribery as the old world gave way to the new. Portraying Herod within this vivid and dynamic world of antiquity, little known to modern readers, Hurston's unfinished manuscript brings this complex, compelling, and misunderstood leader fully into focus. Hurston shared her findings about Herod's rise, his reign, and his waning days in letters to friends and associates. Text from 3 of these letters concludes the manuscript in an intimate way. Scholar-editor Deborah Plant's commentary, A Story Finally Told, assesses Hurston's pioneering work and underscores Hurston's perspective that the 1st century BCE has much to teach us, and that the lens through which to view this dramatic and stirring era is the life and times of Herod the Great. Whether or not you agree with the subject matter, it is an unpublished work by an author that many people admire. So thought I would include it. Seven here this morning. You are colder than we are. Currently, I think it's in the 20s and we're going to get into the 30s. Mary said, never heard of an unfinished novel from Hurston. Fascinating. First, the unfinished novel, and second, the subject matter. Maybe that's why it was unpublished. Maybe she was encouraged not to publish it in the 50s. I don't know. She might not have, had time or didn't feel good about it, but maybe also people were encouraging her not to. I don't know. But yes, I think that's very interesting. And it's not like an estate thing that people are doing with authors who have passed. Excuse me. This is The Heart of Winter by Jonathan Evison. Abe Winter and Ruth Warnicki were never meant to be together, at least if you ask Ruth. Yet their catastrophic blind date in college evolved into a 70-year marriage and a life on a farm on Bainbridge Island with their hens and beloved Labrador Megs. Through the years, the Winters have fallen in and out of lockstep, and from their haunting losses and guarded secrets, a dependable partnership has been forged. But when Ruth's loose tooth turns out to be something much more malicious, the beautiful, reliable life they've created together comes to a crisis. As Ruth struggles with her crumbling independence, Abe must learn how to take care of her, while their 3 living children question his ability to look after his wife. And once again, the couple has to reconfigure how to be there for each other. In this big-hearted and profound portrait of marriage, the author explores 70 years of big moments in subtle ways, elegantly braiding the Winters' turbulent history with their present-day battles, showing us how the oddly paired college kids became parents, fell apart, and back together, and grew into the Abe and Ruth of today. Now, that's kind of a love story I can get behind. Oh, I have it in here twice. This is a Reese's Book Club pick if you're into that. This is The 3 Lives of Kate Kay by Kate Fagan. Kate Kay knows how to craft a story. As the creator of a best-selling book trilogy that struck box office gold as a film series, she's one of the most successful authors of her generation. The thing is, Kate Kay doesn't really exist. She's never attended author events or granted any interviews. Her real identity had been a closely guarded secret until now. As a young adult, she and her best friend Amanda dreamed of escaping their difficult homes and moving to California to become movie stars. But the day before their grand adventure, a tragedy shattered their dreams, and Kate has been on the run ever since, taking on different names and charting a new future. But after a shocking revelation, Kate understands that returning home is the only way she'll be a whole person again. Interesting concept, for sure. The Unbecoming of Margaret Wolfe by Issa Arson. That's a fun, Issa Arson. Up-and-coming stage actress Margaret Short has just taken a bow as Lady Macbeth, the role she has always believed she was destined for her. At home, she plays wife to her best friend Wesley, even if she doesn't hold his sole attention romantically. After a public breakdown threatens all she holds dear, Margaret's doctor prescribes her uppers, just a little help to get through the days. When Wesley is invited by eccentric director Vaughn Klein to join the cast for an inaugural Shakespeare performance in the New Mexico desert, Margaret decides to accompany him in hopes the time away will set her back to rights. But the world she finds in Vaughn's company is filled with duplicity and betrayal. Margaret and Wesley, embroiled in an affair with a man who may not be all he seems, must find a way forward together before their story becomes the real tragedy. This next one is a nonfiction. You know how I love my history. Good morning, Elena. How are you doing? Mary said, I was thinking the same thing. Sounds lovely and somewhat haunting. Yeah. Oh, good. Good to hear. And Mary says, good morning to Elena. And Elena says, good morning back. Again, this is nonfiction, a history. This is called The Waiting Game, The Untold Story of the Women Who Served the Tudor Queens by Nicola Clark. Every Tudor queen had ladies in waiting. They were her confidants and her chaperones. Only the queen's ladies had the right to enter her most private chambers, spending hours helping her to get dressed and undressed, caring for her clothes and jewels, listening to her secrets. But they also held a unique power. A quiet word behind the scenes, an appropriately timed gift, a well-negotiated marriage alliance for all forms of political agency, wielded expertly by women. The Waiting Game explores the daily lives of ladies in waiting, revealing the secrets of recruitment, costume, what they ate, where, and with whom they slept. We meet Maria de Salinas, who traveled to England with Catherine of Aragon, when just a teenager and spied for her during the divorce from Henry VIII. Anne Boleyn's lady-in-waiting, Jane Parker, was instrumental in the execution of not one, but two queens. And maid of honor Anne Bassett kept her place through the last four consorts, negotiating the conflicting loyalties of her birth family, her mistress the queen, and even the desires of the queen himself. As Henry changed wives and changed the very fabric of the country's structure besides, these women had to make choices about loyalty that simply hadn't existed before. The Waiting Game is the first time their vital story has been told. This is one of my favorite time periods to read about, so I have read something particularly about Anne Boleyn, and everybody focuses on Jane Parker. There were other ladies in waitings, and Jane Parker, I get it, she's the drama, she's the backstabber, but there were other ladies in waiting. Just saying. And this is another nonfiction. Ray says, that sounds fascinating. Nothing that title dealt with the library would get it, but can hope. The Waiting Game. Yes. Me too. All right, we'll see if one of the libraries will let me put a hold on it. Again, this is another nonfiction. The Woman Who Knew Everyone, The Power of Pearl Mesta, Washington's Most Famous Hostess, by Meryl Gordon. This is a Town and Country must-read book of 2025, an Amazon Best Book of the Month in the Biographies and Memoirs category. Pearl Mesta was a force to be reckoned with. In her heyday, this wealthy, globe-trotting Washington widow was one of the most famous women in America, garnering as much media attention as Eleanor Roosevelt. Renowned for her world-class parties featuring politicians and celebrities, she was very close to three presidents: Harry Truman, Dwight Eisenhower, and Lyndon Johnson. Truman named her as the first female envoy to Luxembourg, which inspired the hit musical based on Pearl's life, Call Me Madam, which starred Ethel Merman, ran on Broadway for 2 years, and later became a movie. A pioneering supporter of the Equal Rights Amendment, she was a prodigious Democrat fundraiser and rescued Harry Truman's financially flailing 1948 campaign. In this intensely researched biography, author Meryl Gordon chronicles Pearl's lavish life and society adventures in Newport, Manhattan, and Washington, while highlighting her important but nearly forgotten contribution to Hollywood politics and the feminist movement. Alrighty, let's see. Excuse me, guys. Let's go to... Okay, so we did that one. That's good. I'm just looking at stuff that we hadn't gotten to in the other categories. I think we got to everything on Wednesday. Thursday, and I have a sneeze coming. Let's check. Okay, we got 4 there. Let's go to the cozies that we had left. Rescued in Paradise by Deborah Brown, 32nd in the Florida Keys Mystery Series. In and out, that's the plan when Madison Weston and her bestie Fabriana Marceau fire up the SUV to do a favor for their resident IT guru, Reed hacker, Xander. His friend Dixon Holmes, a financial advisor with a snazzy new Beachview condo in Miami, bragged about the hot swipe right date he had lined up, then disappeared. The trouble with mixing business with family? Good luck keeping secrets. When the situation implodes, they'll need their guy's muscle and a boatload of banked favors. One truth about life, it's full of sharks. Some of them armed and cray-cray. Okay. Wine and Whispers by Daisy Landish. This is in the Sophie Brooks Mysteries. Just got the Waiting Game on Audible. Easy peasy. There you go. Let's see. Food blogger and digital nomad Sophie Brooks is on her first stop in Sonoma, California, where the wine flows as freely as the secrets. Eager to showcase the region's farm-to-table dining scene, Sophie is ready to indulge in the local wines and meet the passionate people behind them. But when one of the vineyard's owners goes missing, the peaceful countryside takes a dark turn. As whispers of betrayal and old grudges swirl through the vines, Sophie finds herself caught in the middle of a mystery that threatens to unravel the very fabric of this picturesque wine country. With her sharp instincts and a love for uncovering the truth, Sophie must navigate the delicate balance between tasting fine wines and untangling deadly secrets. Can she solve the mystery before the whispers turn into something more dangerous? This is first in a mystery, although, did I read the prequel? Ha, sounds familiar. Vengeance in the Vines by Rachel Baker, second in the Riley Sunderland Mysteries. Riley's thrilled when she gets a long-term locum veterinarian job in the beautiful Napa Valley wine country where her best friend Sophie lives. Hey. And she's looking forward to enjoying the area and spending time with Sophie and Sophie's husband, Lucien. That is, until the owner of a local bar is found dead in his home after having eaten in Lucien's restaurant during the Chamber of Commerce Awards dinner. Evidence piles up against Lucien, but Riley is certain he's innocent. She feels compelled to do whatever she can to help clear Lucien of suspicion. When Riley meets Alex, the handsome son of the man who died after eating in Lucien's restaurant, they can't deny their attraction to each other, and they're both motivated to find out who killed Alex's father. Alex believes Lucien's innocent, and he has some ideas of his own as to who may have had motive to kill his father. Riley goes to the detective in charge of the case with each new piece of information she finds that she thinks could be relevant to the murder investigation. But the detective seems laser focused on the mounting evidence against Lucien and doesn't seem swayed by any of the information Riley brings him. The pressure increases as Riley's best friend Sophie struggles to deal with the stress of the investigation involving her husband. Will the secrets of the past prevent the truth from being revealed? And I think this is the one that we ended on. The Taverna Affair by Joanne Pence, seventh in the Cook and Inspector Mysteries. Would-be chef Angie Amalfi nervously awaits her engagement party with her swoon-worthy fiancé, homicide inspector Pavo Smith. Her clueless neighbor Stan finds himself swept into a whirlwind romance with a mysterious woman. Before he knows it, his quiet life is in a complete upheaval. As if that weren't enough, Angie's fiancé and her father were forced to work together to solve a mystery on their own, one they fear Angie or her mother learning about. But then, as murders happen around the Greek taverna where Stan met his lady friend, and as the murders shift closer to home, Angie's got to solve a crime messier than her mother's famous spaghetti sauce, and somehow still get through her engagement party without a full-blown family meltdown. Will she save Stan's love life, her parents' marriage, maintain her sanity, and still pull off the engagement party of the year? All right. And then on Thursday, we had some leftover fantasy sci-fi. Visions of Darkness by A.L. Jackson. First in a series. Arya Rialta is a girl of two realities. One she was born to, the other she was chosen for. Both are a threat. Every night when Arya falls asleep, she enters the nightmare world of Fëdor to fight a war. It's her calling to help destroy the Cruan, who feed sin and chaos to our everyday world of vulnerable humans. It would be a lonely realm in which to do battle if not for Pax, Arya's dangerously irresistible soulmate, whose mere touch can kill. It's also a realm that's getting harder to escape. Arya's hallucinations are seeping into her waking world, and the Cruan are coming for her. To help Arya, Pax must do what no one in Fëdor has dared to do before: join his soulmate in the light of day. Giving in to their forbidden attraction could be the death of them. but they may not be able to stop themselves as they embark on a cross-country journey to fight the evils haunting them. As their desire grows, so do Arya's untapped powers and a menacing new force far darker than the Cruella. Elven Council of Ashes, second in the realms of Elisatri by K.J. Dawson. Ivy has always known that the Elven Council holds the fate of both humans and fair folk in their hands, but now their devious agenda threatens to destroy everything she holds dear. Trapped in a realm with an icy princess, deadly amulets, and fresh wounds, the least of Ivy's concerns might be her shattered heart. She may also lose her innate magic. Without a gathering seed, Ivy won't survive long in either realm. Orion has finally secured the acceptance and power he's craved all his life and stands at his father's side within the elite ranks of the court. Though he's where he has longed to be, he finds himself torn between the family he's always wanted and the elf maiden he has fallen for. His loyalties are shifting, and one wrong move could cost him everything. Old prejudices are surfacing, poison is spreading, and allies and enemies are gathering. Ivy and Orion's love and loyalty might be the key to saving their worlds, or the spark that ignites their downfall. And our alarm is about to go. This is Cold Storage by Michael C. Grumley. Technology never works well the first time, or even the second. Army veteran John Reef is living proof. John is revived in the back of a dilapidated ambulance on the run from a shadowy organization that is desperate to take him back. He is the first one, their archetype, and they need to know what happened after his escape, what is happening to his body and his mind, and they need to know now, because Reef knows he shouldn't, about them and about what they are hiding, a secret that has been in cold storage for several hundred years, and the insidious, methodical plan that has been in motion for half a century. John Reef is their key, a problem and the solution, a lab rat gone rogue at the worst possible time, but they will find him. They have to, and they will stop at nothing to get what they want. And this was the title that we were looking at. Giving it a moment. And one more. We'll do this super fast. This is by Fonda Lee and Shannon Lee, first in a new series called Breathmarked. 16-year-old June dreams of proving his worth as a warrior in the Elite Guardians tournament held every 6 years to entrust the magical scroll of heaven to a new protector. Eager to prove his skills, June hopes that a win will restore his father's pride, righting a horrible mistake that caused their banishment from his home mother and twin brother. But June's father strictly forbids him from participating. He believes there is no future in June honing his skills as a warrior, especially considering June is not breathmarked, born with a patch of dragon scales and blessed with special abilities like his twin. Determined to be the next guardian, June stows away in the wagon of Chang and his daughter Ren, performers on their way to the capital where the tournament will take place. As June competes, he quickly realizes he may be fighting not just for a better life, but the fate of the country itself and the very survival of everyone he cares about. We did it! We got to everything! Woo! Yes, I'll see you tomorrow, Lena. Have a good day. I look forward to seeing you. Alrighty, so again, I don't have any sprints tonight. We will have them tomorrow afternoon, as Elena said, and we'll start at 3 p.m. Eastern and go for 5 hours. Next week, we will look at all the new releases being published next week, starting on Monday with Cozy Mysteries. Hope you guys have a very good Friday. Stay warm if you are in a place of being cold. Read good books. And as the banner says here, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Have a good day. God bless.